All right, guys, so we are all done with day 3 of the Wealthy Trustee Workshop. So the first thing that we did was we reviewed our faith-based organization template. And then after that, we applied for our tax exempt EIN number with the IRS. And the last thing is that we became ordained ministers through Universal Life Church. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the floor for questions. So whatever questions you have based off of the information that we went over today, I am available to answer any and all and every question that you guys have. So I see the first hand up is Zelmir.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. How are you?
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yes, awesome.
So I have two questions. One question I have pertaining the ministry trust is I didn't know when you were doing um, the IRS application. I noticed that I didn't see where you literally clicked on anything that had to do with trust. You went down to the lower part and said other. Does that still pertain to a trust or just a nonprofit organization?
Yeah, so we're applying as a nonprofit organization.
Okay, okay, all right. But it still can operate, the trust still operates as the nonprofit organization, is what I'm saying.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So the entity is still structured as a trust, but you
Uh-huh.
operate it as a faith-based organization.
Okay, so when it comes to dealing with the state, when it comes to the taxes and things of that nature, are we talking about that now? Or are you going to do that at the end of the week when it comes to the having whether or not you need to register with the Secretary of State in your state and stuff like that in order to be tax exempt, fully tax exempt?
Yeah, so because your trust is designated as a 508c18, you are automatically exempt from federal taxes with the IRS. Okay, so that's federal income taxes. And that exemption is only if you do not generate more than $5,000 in income. If you generate more than $5,000 in income, then you are required to pay federal taxes with the IRS. So whatever money that is coming into your organization, you either have to label it as a donation or a tithe or income. So a lot of individuals, they do proper record keeping to ensure that the money that is coming into their organization, that is a gift or a tithe or a donation, is labeled such, because if it's not labeled that way, then it's considered income, and anything over 5,000 you do have to file a 1041 and report it. But anything that is labeled as tithing, gifting, donations, you don't have to pay federal taxes or file a 1041. Your organization is only exempt from federal taxes. It's not exempt from state taxes, county taxes, city taxes, property taxes, or any other form of taxes, sales taxes. So you have to apply for those other tax exemptions. So if you want to apply for state tax exemption, then you have to go through the Secretary of State to actually fill out that application to be exempt from state taxes. Your organization doesn't need to be registered with the state. Um, it just depends on your actual state if they're going to require it. Some states do require for you to be registered with the state in order for them to approve your application, and then some states don't. So it just depends on your specific state.
Okay, yeah, because I know with Washington State, I know we don't have a state tax, but in terms of like if we're going to be having property with our nonprofit, or we're going to be trying to get like sales tax, I think we may have to register. So I think there
Yeah,
might be a different process for that. Okay,
yeah,
awesome. And then my last,
yeah, some states are like that.
yeah, okay, and so awesome. And my last question is regarding, I didn't see like a clause or an article when it comes to like for instance, if you want your nonprofit to be able to do baptisms and also to create baptism certificates, is that something we need to add in there?
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're so welcome. Thank you. All right, next we have Chris. Hey, Chris.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you? Good
Hey,
afternoon.
thank you for your ministry here. This is, still learning. Almost got this.
You're welcome. My
Yeah,
pleasure.
this one's almost finished. This is helpful. Just a few quick questions. One, the adding trustees, is that done simply through a board meeting resolution, or is there a template or something that they have to sign?
Yes, so it's done through a board meeting, but you do want them to sign an agreement that they're agreeing to their appointment.
Okay, that's easy enough. And just a few more here. The beneficiary, are we allowed to have the um maybe not necessarily with this trust because the beneficiary would be the family trust, but in some of these other trusts, can the successor trustee be a beneficiary?
Yes,
Okay.
so the successor trustee can be the beneficiary. And when the successor trustee becomes the trustee, they just have to ensure that they are not the sole beneficiary, or they have to remove themselves as a beneficiary.
Okay, cool. And then now this had came up for several of us were asking this question about the name. Does it have to um can we have like school or outreach or university or anything like that in the name?
Yeah, you can. So like my FBO, it doesn't end. I heard somebody say that it doesn't need to end in ministry. No, it doesn't. That's just the example that I gave. So you can use whatever words that you want. So mine says coalition. It says education coalition. So it has a name in the front and then it ends in education coalition. So some of them end in house, right? So you can use whatever term you want. So like
Okay.
one of mine's is a homeless reintegration center. And so it ends in the word house.
Okay, yeah, this is good to know. And then also is there a contact name or email for I believe you were saying that your team offers notary services.
Yeah, we have a director of notaries. So I'm a notary. There's a couple different people who are also notaries. Gerda's a notary, Anna's a notary, Florence is a notary. So we have a directory of notaries that have signed up to assist. So I'm not sure if you got it. The team has sent it out via email, but we're working on putting it into the Telegram chat so you can have easy access to the directory.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Chris. All right, next we have, is it Ramona? I'm gonna have to.
Yes, I couldn't figure out how to change my name in the thing.
I'm struggling in this whole thing. Okay, all right, Ramona.
Okay, first question is, I went through the 5081C, that the process a couple of months ago, but I did not choose for banking purposes. I chose new business. So does that mean I need to do it over, or it's not valid? I have an
Um,
EIN number, but I did it as a new business.
for the 508.
Yes.
You should be fine. So that's generally That is still a good option. So, I mean, you should be fine with that option. If you want, you can just call them just to make sure, but it doesn't have to be banking purposes. That's just the one that I instruct people to use because it's the easiest one and because it's really the primary reason why we're needing the EIN is to get a bank account for our FBO.
Okay, okay. And then, I mean, you're going through several of these exercises. Does it matter how many EIN numbers you apply for?
So generally you only need one per entity.
I'm saying in general, like, because you just completed another one that was a September, so I'm guessing you do one like every month. Do you go back and cancel them, or does it matter that you have these EIN numbers out there?
Oh, okay. So they don't give you a certain limit of how many how many EIN numbers you can get. So it's up to you. Generally people don't need that many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
you can cancel it. So you can go contact the IRS and you can cancel the EINs.
Okay. Gotcha. One of the other options was, does your business own a motor vehicle? And I thought it was a good option if you chose to have it, because then it's like a tax write-off or something by saying you have like when you buy a vehicle that's 5,000 pounds or more, would that fall under faith-based, or that would be more under the business?
If you want to um if you want to put it in that organization. So it's up to you. Do you want that vehicle to be under your FBO?
Aren't there tax benefits by doing it that way?
I mean, yeah, but every entity will get the same tax benefits that you're talking about. So to be able to write it off,
Yes.
yeah, but you have to understand you're putting it, it's not going to be advantageous to you if you're putting into an entity that is already that's already exempt from federal taxes. You want to put that into an entity that is required to pay federal taxes.
Okay. So then
Right?
you can write it off.
Yeah, because
I see.
are you going to be reporting income for the FBO?
No, not more than 5,000 anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
So it would be better
I
for,
see. I see. Okay. So you're not going to have incomes that you need to lessen by, okay, I got you. I got you. It's not going to benefit you because you had no income to try to decrease your tax liability for anyway.
yeah, you're not going to file a 1041.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. What's the other one? Do you have, so I do have a building that I was doing the 508 for, and I did get so I didn't do the state tax. Do you have a process for how to properly qualify for the state tax exemption?
Yes, I do. It's inside of the course under tax exemption. Did you get a chance to log in? You probably haven't logged in yet, right?
I've logged in. I saw the two main icons. I haven't clicked around in there yet.
Okay, I'll show you where it is so that you can go and review that video. 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me pull it up. Um So if you go right here to where it says how to apply for sales tax exemption,
Okay.
it'll show you that application process through the state.
Okay, perfect. Yep, I remember seeing all those icons. Okay. Okay, just two more questions. The other one, I didn't quite get the full explanation when you were going over the beneficiary under Schedule C. You said it should be another nonprofit or just another trust corporation?
So the beneficiary can be a domestic or international corporation. It can be any legal entity or trust. So it could be like an LLC, a corporation, it could be another nonprofit, it could be a church, an association, an axillary, or like I said, another trust. So it has to be an entity. It can't be a natural person, a human.
Okay. Okay. And under this process, what are you recommending?
So what I tell people to do is they can choose. So if they have a nonprofit, what I've seen is that if they have a nonprofit, they'll put their nonprofit. If they don't have a nonprofit, then they'll put one of their other existing trust.
Okay. For existing trust. Okay. The other one was, oh, so, okay, and then the other one was members, you said the minimum 10% donation on a regular basis. And so that goes into the trust and to start building funds for the trust. And we would need to give receipts for those donations or how?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
so we have donation receipts. That is also inside of the course. So if you go to resources, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. Hold on 1 second.
And while you're pulling that up for 508, because it's a 508, these are, you're keeping it for your board, but it's nothing that you actually have to report to the IRS.
Your bookkeeping? Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to report it.
Okay.
Let's see, where is it?
So
You
if my
see,
so if my business donated, my business trust donated $10,000 to my nonprofit trust, I get a receipt and I keep, but that's nothing that I have to report. It just, but it minimizes my business liability.
okay, say that again.
So if my business trust donated $10,000 to bring down my tax liability for my business, and I put $10,000, I donated $10,000 into the trust has a log, a receipt of that 10,000, but it's nothing that needs to be reported because it's a donation.
So, right, so the FBO doesn't have to doesn't have to report it. The FBO has to keep proper record keeping and bookkeeping. The business trust, you are gonna have that receipt and you're gonna then deduct it on your taxes, on your 1041 on the business trust side.
Okay, okay. And you don't have to show what you use that $10,000 for in the trust, in the nonprofit trust?
No, so that's just a part of your record keeping. So when money comes in, you want to put it allocate it where it belongs, right? So you're going to put it into the bank account and then you're also going to record where it was dispersed to. So
Okay.
that's a part of your proper record keeping. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you right here. So if you go under resources, where are we? Resources, and then you see you have all of these attachments and files.
Okay.
It's the second one. You see it?
Yes, okay, okay. Okay, gotcha. The one from okay.
Yeah. It's the so that's just a template for your donation receipt for your FBO.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ramona. All right, next we have Nicole. Hey, Nicole.
Hello, Miss. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I think I have four questions. What is the primary difference between the 408, I'm sorry, the 508 and the 503C?
The 501.
Yeah.
So the 501, you have to apply, right? So you have to do an application through the IRS in order to be exempt. So that's the traditional way that nonprofits go, right? So you set up a nonprofit and then you apply for tax exempt status. And you do the application through the IRS. So there's a lot of restrictions with you having your tax exempt status as a 501. So one of them is freedom of speech, because your organization is not allowed to talk about politics. The other thing is that you do have to report all of your financials to the IRS. Everything needs to be reported. So like all of your books and your records and stuff like that. And then the status needs to be maintained, right? So you need to renew your status, and based off of your, the record keeping, it will determine if you're allowed to continue your status or if they revoke your status. So that's the difference. So the one is that you have to actually apply based off of the entity that you've established legally through the government. And on the contrary is the 508, which is through, it's a mandatory exception to not having to file for a 501. So the reason why this exists is because there's a separation between church and state. And so if you are in the realm of being a church or anything like a church, meaning a faith-based organization, charitable organization, philanthropic stuff, things like that, religious or educational, then you qualify as that designation. And because there's a mandatory exception to not having to go down the route of the 501, you're automatically exempt. So when you're going down the route of that designation, you don't have to apply for tax exemption, and you don't have to report your books or your financials to the government, because of the separation between your organization and the government.
Okay. Good explanation. Now when it comes to the order of your trust, does it have to be business, family, non-exempt? Can it be family first and then the business trust? Does it matter?
So when you say order, what do you mean? Because these are three entities, and you can operate them differently. They don't have to be intertwined or connected at all.
So what I mean is, okay, so like you gave the example that the for the business trust, the beneficiary could be the FBO. So as far as as far as being the beneficiary of the trust or the nonprofit.
Yeah,
So
you can
is it
choose. You don't have to choose. So the beneficiary, the way that we structure it is, the beneficiary of the business trust is a family trust. But if you don't want it to be that way, it doesn't have to be that way. Some people put their children, or some people put their FBO.
okay? Okay, so that's the other question I had as far as the beneficiary. If my family trust or FBO is the beneficiary, when do my children be beneficiaries? How does that fit in?
Your children are going to be the beneficiary of your family trust. They cannot be the beneficiary of your faith-based organization. And generally, we don't put them as a beneficiary of the business trust. So that's
Okay.
where they fit in. They fit in on the trust that we created yesterday. You will put your children there.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. And the last thing is in the email today, for the resources, you had a page about the 98 EIN. So why did you put it in today? Did it fit in with the FBO? Was there a reason that it was posted today with this topic?
So no, not necessarily. It's just for people to have it. So we had spoke about it yesterday. It's just for people to have it. So generally, some people, they very much so like to have a 98 number for their FBO. So when you get a 98 number, you are saying that the entity is foreign and not domestic, right? And so because the entity is considered foreign, it doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of the US, which means that US taxes are that it doesn't apply, right? But with those organizations, if you're generating US dollars, you do have to file, or you do have to report income for the US dollars that you're generating.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next we have Sule. Hey, Sule.
Yeah,
You
sorry about that. I'm trying to get my mute off. Oh, thank
Oh,
you. All right. So thank you for everything that you do. And I wanted to ask some few questions. And one
yeah.
of it is number one, because we are creating three trusts, right? Can I be the trustee on all the three trusts?
Yes,
Personally.
these are three different entities.
Awesome.
You can be the trustee. Just it's the same thing as if you created three LLCs and you're the authorized member for all three LLCs.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. All
You're welcome.
right. Let's see. I have another one. Okay, the other one is I'm creating a faith-based, I'm creating a family and a business. Can I use the same names?
No, you want different names for all three entities. You
Oh,
can't use the same names, you can't have the same bank account. So you have to treat them separately, and you don't want to commingle information, or you don't want to commingle, funds. You don't want to mix anything up.
okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, and trustee can apply for EIN. Okay, all right. That's it. Is this supposed to mean? Okay, the house. Okay, oh, the other one now. So for the grantor in the beginning of the business, right? It has to put something down as a value. And an example of that is like putting $100 into the trust, right?
Right.
Now, is it only the grantor that can put assets into the trust, or after the trust is being finalized, the trustee can bring in asset into the trust?
After the trust is finalized and the grantor puts the initial consideration, the grantor doesn't do anything else for the trust. The grantor walks away from the trust, never to look back again. And it's the trustee that does everything. The trustee is the one that accepts assets into the trust, puts assets in, liquidates the assets, remove the assets, invest, grow, and operates.
Okay, so the question now again is going to be a follow-up question. So let me assume now I have a house and my grantor is creating the trust, right?
Mhm.
Is it the grantor that needs to bring in that house in the initial stage, or after the trustee has been set up, then I, as the trustee, can bring in the property?
After the trust is set up, you as a trustee brings in the property.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're so welcome. All right, next we have Barbie. Hey, Barbie.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you?
I'm fine. How's everyone today?
Good. How is everybody else?
I am, I have two questions. Well,
Yes,
my
ma'am.
first one is I have not received the email to be able to go into the portal.
Oh, okay. I'm not, no, you know what? Actually, I don't know why that's coming up, because my team told me that you logged in. When I emailed them, I had copied and pasted. I emailed it to them and they told me that you had logged in.
To the portal?
That's not correct.
No.
You had sent me a direct message yesterday, right, with your email? Oh, no, it's not you. It was Dee Dee. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Dee Dee. I'm sorry. Okay, let me message them again. I'm not sure what's wrong. Yeah, it wasn't you. It was Dee Dee that sent me that direct message. Okay, so
I
I
can
will.
send a direct message now.
Huh? You
I can
did?
send a direct message.
No, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will just follow up with them. And if you could send me an email, I will hold them accountable and make sure that it happens today.
Okay, no problem. My second question is, when you say this, where it says trust, constitution, and or articles of organization, and you speak of a chapter, like a chapter that you had a certain number, I think yours was 671 or something like that for Florida.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that number? Because I'm in Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's in one of your resources. I'll show it to you, okay? Hold on one second. So in your email and inside of the course, but I think you say you don't have access yet. State nonprofit corporation. Okay. So in your resources in the email, you receive the guide for this. So let me share it with you. So this is one of your resources, and you say you're in Arizona, right?
Right. Oh,
Are you there, Barbie?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you see my screen?
I can.
Yes, okay. You see, so this is the guide, everybody. So all you have to do is just go here to the Nonprofit Corporation Act, and then you just have to look for your respective state and you'll see what you need to fill in for that section. So Barbie said that she's in Arizona, so this is what she's gonna put. She's gonna put Title 10A, Chapter 24 to 40.
Okay, wait a minute, let me write that down. The chapter. Like everything you got right there, that's what I need to write.
Title 10A, comma, Chapter 24 through 40.
Okay, got that. So my other question, and then I think that'll be it for me. Now, when I pull up my screen for the email with the example on it, it comes up the way that you have it presented. But when I print it out so that I can write on it, some of the wording is combined. So I'm not able to, like when I print it, when I see it, it looks like it's supposed to be. Let me show my face first of all.
Well, what are you referring to?
I'm talking about the whole trust.
The
package.
whole trust.
Yeah. So when it comes to me in the email, fine, as clear as you showing it. But when I print it, some of the wording comes on top of one, so I can't read it or anything.
Oh, that's weird.
Drag.
I'm not sure why that's happening. I
And
don't
it's
know.
not on all of it, but it's definitely on the certificate, the certificate part of it. It does that. So I'm not really sure why it kind of bleed into one another. Like it's not bleed, whereas the ink is bleeding, but it's like wording on top of wording.
Yeah. So what? Yeah.
Word or Google?
I don't know. Are you using Microsoft Word?
Yes.
Try to tell her open it in Google. See if it like writing Google Doc.
Okay.
Yeah, that could work. And then also just take a look at like the print preview too.
All the settings.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. You may be right, Miss Sonia. You may be right because it asked me to do it long. Maybe I should do it short.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Like the landscape. Yeah.
So it's on the regular, but if it asks me to print because I had to print on both sides because there's a lot of pages. So I had to print on both sides, but I put short. Maybe I should put long, and then maybe it won't do that. So maybe I think that's where my problem come in at.
Short and long is flipping. When you flip it over, that's the difference between the long side and the short side.
Not when it's like
You do it front and back, right?
It's front and back.
Yeah. Just print it single and see what it does.
Okay.
Just try single.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sonia.
Okay.
I'll definitely try it, and happy birthday again to you.
Yes, happy
All
birthday.
right.
One
It's the best gift I got right here.
I love it.
That's it for me, Miss Christina.
Huh?
That's
Say
it
that
for me.
again. Okay, thank you, Miss Barbie. Awesome. All right, next we're going to Jasmine. How are you?
Oh, I am great. I've so enjoyed you. I've so enjoyed this. This has so been beneficial to my spirit. I
Thank
wanted
you,
to ask,
Jasmine.
oh, you're very welcome. I wanted to ask about I didn't know there were benefits to becoming a minister. And I don't know if you can provide that information. I want to just give you a little information on what I'm trying to do with my faith base is I'm trying to set up a faith-based organization, kind of like a school teaching backyard organic gardening so that people won't be having food insecurity, food scarcity or whatever, like teaching soil management and permaculture. So when you said the faith base can be like in nature or in soil or in whatever, that's where I'm coming from. But I didn't know there was benefits to being a minister specifically. I guess I could be a minister of soil.
Yeah. So, yeah, there is. So there is, I'm going to put the link in there. Hold on one second. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And then, so this is like directly on the RRS website so that you can look. So there's benefits. It's usually like housing and stuff like that. So ministers that pay taxes, you get extra tax breaks. So if you like are an employee in a church, or if you run any type of, organization like that, you get extra benefits. So I went ahead and put it on the chat, and then you could take a look at that.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
it's a list of them.
okay, and my second question is, where can I find the information about the 98 number EIN? I was just curious about because I don't really understand what that is. I don't want to take up everybody's time, but where can I find that information about it? Because I didn't see it on the text or
The email?
right. I don't think it's on the email. Okay. I'll check that out later then.
Yeah, it's one of the attachments in the email. It's just instructions on how to apply for a 98 number if you want to apply for a 98 number.
And my last question is, so for each trust, do you recommend purchasing like a trust binder or a trust book? And if so, where should that physical trust binder, what do you recommend that it be kept or stored or located?
Yes, I do. I recommend that everyone get a trust binder. I will show you mine. I don't have it next to me. Hold on, okay? Hold on.
Wait a minute.
All right, guys. So this is what she's referring to, is a binder for your trust. Oh, let me see. Let me show mine around. So this is my legacy trust. So I recommend that you guys get a binder. Here, I'll show you this one. And you want to organize it to have all of your different paperwork. So you're going to actually put your trust document in there. And then, so I was explaining this earlier today that you're going to have different sections. So I have dividers. And then, so the first part is the declaration and the indenture. And then the second part is any amendments or board meetings. And then after that, any assets that you have inside of the trust, like your deeds, your bill of sales. And then after that, any financial responsibilities or liabilities. And then after that, any contracts. So I got this from Amazon, and there's another company. There's two companies that I use for my binders, no more than two. There's two companies that I use for my binders. I don't have the link readily available, so I will look it up and then I can send that to you guys. Or I can have that for you guys tomorrow. Let me put that on my to-do list.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could share the companies because they embroider it. So that's what I like. So this one is embroidered for one of my schools, and then this one is embroidered. So I have a slogan here, own your tomorrow. So that's like the slogan for the Legacy Trust. So did that answer your question?
You did, but I also wanted to know, so where should that be stored? Like, do I need to keep it in my house, under the bed, or?
Yeah, so you should keep it, okay, so your trust documents, one, you need to keep it obviously in your house. So I have a safe in my house, and I just and I got the safe on Amazon. It's big enough for me to put my stuff there. So you have like, horizontal or vertical safes. So I have it under safe, PIN code, emergency key, all that stuff. So you want to have it, one, obviously where you are in your location. And then you also want to have a second copy in a separate location just in case anything happens, right? We got hurricanes, we got tornadoes, we got any type of emergency that might happen. And so if you only have one trust document, that's you just putting yourself in a position to where if that document is destroyed, then your trust becomes inoperable. So I always tell people you want to do two copies of your trust, and you keep them in two separate locations. One in your home where you're actually operating the organization, and then another one you can have it at a safety deposit box or with a co-trustee or some other secured location.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, so I will have that company for you guys by tomorrow. Thank you for that, Jasmine. Next we have Renata.
Renetta, yes.
Renetta.
Yes. Hi,
Thank you.
Christina. Okay, my
Hi.
questions. I wanted to ask you, where's the family trust? If that's your faith-based organization, that's your beneficiary, right?
All right. I'm already confused. Huh?
Oh, okay. The family trust is going to be the beneficiary to your FBO.
Okay. Yes.
So can the beneficiaries of the family trust be a part of the board or trustees?
Yes, they can.
Okay. That was that question. And I also wanted to know can the trustee and the trust address on iPostal be the same?
The trustee and the trust address, so,
Yes.
are you talking about in the trust constitution? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you saying, can the trust have the same address?
Yeah,
Or
like when I go to
about
iPost, the actual address, like with the trust, I'm getting ready to go to iPostal, and I wanted to know, do I need to get an address as a trustee for myself and separate from the trust?
No, just the trust needs a separate address from you. Your address is your address, but the trust
Oh,
needs its own address.
okay. So anybody pulling up information, they'll find me. I'm just trying to be, I was confused with that. The trust address is just for the trust.
Correct. The trust address is just for the trust. You're personally not going to use that address for you. You don't want the trust to receive mail at the same location that you receive mail.
Okay. But if my business, I was asking you yesterday, I have a business address for for a property, and my LLC, it goes to that property. So it's something like the credit cards and everything come in my name, but it's under the business name as well. So will that be a problem, me using that address strictly for the business trust?
If you receiving mail, even if it's a credit card, if you're receiving mail in your personal name, then I wouldn't use it.
Okay, great. And the last question is, like, should your spouse be a co-trustee or a beneficiary? I mean, just a
Yeah.
suggestion, can it happen?
Yes, they can. Yeah, your spouse can be a co-trustee, or they could be a beneficiary. So whichever one you.
Okay, I do have one last question. You know, the crest, and this is just your opinion. Should you have a crest for like each one, for the business, for the FBO and your family, or is just for the family?
I generally use it just for my family.
Okay.
I have a crest, and you don't want to use the same one for all the other entities. So it's not like you're going to use one crest for all three. So just choose. So generally I just use it for the legacy trust.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, next we have Nicole. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, yes, I'm back. Sorry, one more question. And that is, okay, we're creating these trusts to have assets. Yes, we're leaving it for legacy purposes, but as a trustee, how do we get to benefit? I know they say own nothing, control everything. So is being the trustee our way of controlling everything and utilizing the assets as well?
Yeah, the trust owns everything. You are not the trust, and the trust is not you. You're
Okay.
just the authorized representative. So yes, that is your way of owning nothing but controlling everything. You're going to control every single thing that belongs to the trust.
All
We
right.
need to do a mindset shift. Yeah, we need to do a mindset shift. I will tell you guys this because I see this all the time, right? So the minute that you put your house into the trust, you don't own that house anymore. The trust owns the house. So you're going to put your house into the trust. You're going to contact the utility companies. You're going to let them, now you're going to change the utility companies into the name of the trust. So now it's the financial responsibility of the trust. The trust is a living entity. You got to look at the trust like it's right next to you. The trust owns the house. The trust is now responsible for paying the electricity, the water bill, the gas, the maintenance, the taxes, okay? But you control the trust. So just like how you have a newborn baby, that baby is a living, breathing baby. That baby can own stuff too, but the baby can't sign for itself. And so it's you that's the representative that's going to do everything for that other living entity that is able to then do stuff out here in society. So you're going to control the trust and all of the assets in the trust, but you're not going to own any of it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we have Roderick Hill.
Hey, Christina, can you hear me?
Yep, perfect. How are you?
I'm doing well. A few questions. And this may have been asked, I had to step away for a second. With the naming of the nonprofit, I'll say, does the naming have to be ministry, or can it be FBO or foundation, or it has to be ministry?
It doesn't have to be ministry. It could be any name that you want. You don't want to confuse it with other names. So you don't want to use corporation and get it confused. You don't want to use foundation and get it confused. So a foundation, a lot of people, they want to use that word, but you're going to have it confused to where now the IRS is going to look at it as a foundation and tax it like a foundation. And so with the foundation, they're required to they're required to go down the 501c3 route, and they're required to give 5% of their donations. So you don't want to confuse, you don't want your entity to be confused with that entity, because it's a different type.
Okay, but I could say whatever FBO if I wanted to, faith-based organization.
Yeah, you could call it organization. I was giving the example earlier today that my FBO, one of it is called M-House, right? And so that's what I use for the homeless population, right? So it ends in house. The other one is called Education Coalition, right? So that's what I use to give out, scholarships, is the Education Coalition. So you do not have, it doesn't have to be ministry. No, that's just the example that I like to use, but that's not what it is. You can call it a church. So you can name it after a church. You can call it Orange Church.
Okay. With the Corporation Act, is there any state do you have any information about a state that you would say is just, as far as the title or the chapters, there's some wording in there that that state you say might be tougher than others? And I asked that from a perspective because I saw that New Jersey was, and I saw another state like that, Title 15A, Chapter 1 through 16. I haven't looked at it or read it, but it seemed like it's more information or more chapters than some of the other states. But, it could be less wording. I don't know. I was just trying to see if there were did you have any input or feedback on any of the states in particular in reference to that?
I don't have, like, I haven't gone through all of them to, even see what the major difference is. So you definitely want to choose the state where you're actually going to be operating this entity. So if you're, gonna operate it in New Jersey, then choose New Jersey. But I haven't gone through all of them to see what the major difference is. There's a lot of similarities in them in respect to, operating a nonprofit in that state. So I'm just gonna tell you, do your due diligence for whatever state you're gonna choose to run your organization in.
Okay. And my last question, it's okay to have multiple faith-based organizations, right? I mean, or even to start a faith-based organization without the other entities in place, like your family or business.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So you don't have to have a beneficiary for your FBO. So you don't have to have any other entities in place, and you can have multiple. So I have multiple. I have 2 FBOs.
All right. So with that, if I want to operate mostly, or going to start operating in Louisiana but live in New Jersey, because it's something I want to start to honor my sister, it sounds like you telling me I should probably have an address that's in Louisiana for that one, even though I might get notarized in New Jersey.
Correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Mhm.
Roderick. All right. Next we have Keith. Hey, Keith.
Hi there. Sorry, I didn't
Hi.
know I was next. I'm doing great. How you doing?
Great.
Wow, I'm just sitting here like a sponge soaking all this up. My situation is I have two LLCs. One, oh, I mentioned real estate, commercial real estate, and the other's where I generate, my online income and crypto and those type of things. So my primary focus, at least out the gate, is the business trust. So, and I'm working on the grantor, as well as grantor for the family. Um, so in terms of the trustee, I was under the impression I would make one of the LLCs the trustee of either one. But as far as beneficiaries, I thought I could make both of them the beneficiaries. Is that correct? Or should I?
Can you make both of them both of the LLCs the beneficiary of
It will be a beneficiary, right? Each one a beneficiary. The real estate LLC and the digital online business LLC.
the beneficiary of your FBO?
No. I'm sorry. I was talking about the business trust.
You want to make
I
the
wasn't
LLC the beneficiary of the business trust?
Right. Like I said, for me right now, my primary focus is getting set up because there's a lot of information. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it several times. That's why I love the fact you have everything recorded. But for me, out the gate, getting things set up right now, I know the call primarily was on the FBO, but I just figured we'd mention this because that's what I wanted to try and move forward for myself. But we do have a call, and again, in just of time, I know a lot of people have questions. I would just ask folks, guys, a lot of people on the call with questions, maybe try and, get your question quickly. That's what people here in the North, we move kind of quick. so we got to move
I
fast.
know you do. Yeah.
Yeah, and no offense anyone. But again, so that was my primary question, but we're supposed to have a call today at 3 o'clock. The other thing is, how do we do that? Do I call, I don't remember if their phone number, do I do a Zoom? How do we do actual?
It's a regular phone call. I'm gonna call you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, in that case,
so
I'll leave. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, let me answer your question. I'm just trying to understand it because I think I lost track. So you
Okay,
said you have two LLCs.
I have two LLCs, yeah.
Uh-huh. And now what is it that you're trying to do with the business trust?
The trustee would be, instead of being myself, it would be one of my LLCs.
Okay.
And as beneficiaries, it would be, that LLC would be one beneficiary, and my other LLC would be the other beneficiary. I just want to see if that made sense, in terms of structure. And as far as the family trust, I could then start structuring things with individual family members.
You can do it that way, yeah. You can do it that way. So it's gonna create you just have like a whole looping thing going
Okay.
on here. So the business trust is going to be the owner of the LLC, and the LLC is going to be the trustee of the business trust.
Beneficiary.
Yes. In other words, the business trust, well, put it this way, one of the LLCs would be the trustee of the business trust.
Okay,
And as
so
far as,
yeah, so you would have to do it to where the LLC that you'll have LLC one, and LLC one will be the trustee of the business trust, and then the business trust will then own LLC two. And then LLC one could be, both LLCs can be the beneficiary of the business trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like what I was thinking, kind of getting that structured. So, but again, like I said, as far as the FBO, there's certain things I have in mind, but I guess, like I said, there's a lot, I see there's a lot to this. And I don't like rushing into things without really taking the time to really analyze things thoroughly. So I will be taking a little bit more time, but that's why I thank you so much for what you're doing. It's really incredible.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I would tell anybody and everybody, definitely take your time. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. So, go ahead and, take as much time as you need to set it up right, the first time around. And just to have everything, all of your provisions of everything that you want inside of your estate, just put it in there so that you don't have to make amendments and amendments and amendments. So next we have Barbie, and then
Okay.
Emmett, and then Dante. And then we are going to wrap it up for the day. Hey, Barbie.
I'm sorry, I didn't think of this question, but I thought of it earlier, but I didn't remember when it was my turn. So the one question that I had to ask was, I heard another gentleman who was talking about 508 C1As, right? C1A or something like that. Anyway, he was saying how you open up the bank account, but you get 100% back of whatever you deposit into the bank account. Is that a real thing or what?
I personally don't think that it's a real thing. And I would not tell anybody to do that. The way that that particular gentleman is educating is not the right way. So there are individuals that were in his program that are now in our program because their trust wasn't set up the right way. And also there's discrepancies in the way that he's telling people to do things, because he's telling people to use an FBO to put this money into an account and get the interest back and get, you put in 100,000, you get 1 million or something crazy like that. But then you go and file taxes for your tax exempt organization. So it doesn't make any sense. But the individuals that I know that went into his program did not get any of the results that were promised. And that whole entire scenario with this bank and the interest and stuff, they didn't see any of it.
I'm so glad I asked this question. Because I really was going to go to that program, and I canceled it. I literally asked for my money.
I'm glad you canceled it, because another thing is that those individuals, the way that they were instructed was they were setting up an irrevocable trust, and they were told that they were going to be the grantor and the trustee. Look, you almost broke your neck because you know that.
Yeah, I learned too much here to know that that's not how it goes.
Exactly, you lost it. So those individuals that experienced that are now in our program and have created their stuff the right way and have their real estate, and they're doing well now.
Good. I definitely got reached out to my credit card people for my money back, and I originally and immediately signed up to yours. I was like, whatever, William, I'll talk to American Express later, but let me just get on and get with this. So, and I've been telling people about you too. I have several.
That's the Holy Spirit that directed you in the right way.
Because he talked about Bible
redirection.
He a Bible toter too. So when I call people Bible toters, the people who know the scripture really well, but still do things. You can't be a Bible toter and still be out here tripping. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of threw me off. So I just want to say I appreciate you, and I'm glad that I did that. I actually told people about you. I was like, no, don't go to dude, especially when he be singing all the time. So I was like, don't go to dude. Come to my girl. So
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Based off of what you're saying right now, Barbie, I appreciate what you're saying right now. I do want everyone to know that we have a referral program too. So, if you guys want to sign up for our referral program, anyone that you bring into our program, as a student, you get 20% commission. So, we just appreciate you sending people in our direction, and that's a token of our appreciation. So you do have to sign up as an affiliate, and it should be in your email, one of those links. You know, you got a bunch of links in your email, so one of those links is to become an affiliate. So I appreciate you, Barbie, and everyone who already is an affiliate. And everyone who is considering referring people to our program. Thank you. So we have Emmett.
Yes, how you doing? Doing a
I'm
great
great,
job.
Emmett.
It's all fantastic information. I've been watching it for a minute now.
Thank
Two questions. One is my intention is to set up Christian nonprofit Christian school, and my wife will probably run that. Does the name Christian school flag anything? I'm wondering if it'll flag.
No, it's perfect.
Okay.
One of mine, I call it a school too. So you're perfect. You're good.
Okay, so the school is good. Now the other thing, I have the almost same identical thing as Roderick was trying to talking about with Jersey, because I'm in New Jersey, and you said to put the chapter, and it says Title 15A, comma, chapters 1 through 16. Now, do I have to find which chapter in the 1 through 16, or do
No,
I just put that?
You have to put the whole entire thing.
The whole entire thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
That makes it easy.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, next we have Dante.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm great, Dante. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So I have a question about somebody had mentioned it about, as far as you mentioned about the home, your home going into the actual trust. So when it goes into the trust, and you say you put it in your utilities and all that type of stuff. So does the actual home come off my credit?
No. So, unless you refinance the house, so your mortgage is going to stay intact, and your mortgage is going to remain in your personal name, and it's going to remain on your credit unless you refinance the house into the name of the trust. But if you don't, then your mortgage is going to remain intact, and all you're going to do is deed the property from your personal name into the name of the trust. And now the trust is the owner of the property and responsible for the financials of that property.
Okay, so whatever bank account I made for, I just put the money to that bank account and it pays for it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's all I have. Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome, Dante. And next we have Sule, Ramona, and then we are going to wrap it up. I have some homework for you guys. Hey, Sule.
Okay, yeah, so my question, I already chatted it to you. So the question is, can I operate my faith base just like a 501(c)(3)?
Yeah, you can, of course.
Do I need to file with the state or not?
You don't need to file. You do not need to file unless you want to qualify for government grants or federal grants. Then they are going to require you to be a 501.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ramona?
Yes, Dante kind of asked my question. So he helped me. Your answer helped a lot. I just had one more. So putting the deed into the trust name, is that an easy process, or does it require any?
It's very easy. We're gonna go over it on Friday, and like literally, some people in our community, they've got it done the same day. Like they've got it done in one day.
Okay.
24 hours. So if you set up your trust today and you go ahead and notarize your quit claim deed and you turn it into the county tomorrow, you're done in a day.
Okay. But the finances are still, the mortgage is still in my name, so I'm still paying it.
Yep.
Okay, from my name, from my account. But Dante said he would pay it through the trust.
No, you can. So it's the financial responsibility of the trust. Anything is any assets that belong to the trust are the financial responsibilities of the trust. So what you're going to do is you're going to pay it from the trust, and then you can let your mortgage company know that you're going to have an authorized payer.
Ah, okay. That answered it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All
It's
right, guys.
Shannon.
So we are wrapping it up. Huh?
I have a question. I'm having problems with my computer, so I can't raise
Raising
my
the
hand.
hand. Oh, okay.
Raising my
Go
hand
see.
this way.
Okay. Oh, right. Oh, my bad. Okay. Go see.
Real quick question. With the three trusts, right?
Yes.
That we have, can they all have the same virtual address?
So it depends on if you are operating them privately. So if all three trusts are private and you're never going to generate a public record, then yes, you can use the same address for all three. But if you're going to operate the business trust as a holding company, or if you're going to build business credit with the business trust and you're going to generate a public record for it, that trust needs to have a separate address than the remainder of your trust.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That's it. That's all.
All right, awesome. All right, guys. Hey, so we are done for today with day 3 of the Wealthy Trustee Workshop. I'm super excited we made it to the end because guess what? We are done setting up our trust, you guys. So Monday we set up the business trust, Tuesday we set up the family trust, and Wednesday we today we set up our faith-based organization or tax-exempt trust. So now what I want you to do is I want you to go inside of the Facebook, and everybody should be approved for Facebook now. And so I want you to get into the Facebook group and into the Telegram and let us know when you're going to notarize your trust. When are you going to finalize your trust so that we can hold you guys accountable? Okay. That's what we want to do here. We want to hold you accountable, me and my entire team. So go ahead and let us know when you're going to finalize the 3 trusts that we just set up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, the next piece of homework is that I need you to start working on the asset inventory list, because on Friday, we're going to focus on transferring our assets, okay? So I need you to know which assets you are going to put into which trust, and which assets are going to remain outside of your trust, okay? And then the last thing is tomorrow we are going to meet here at the same time on Zoom, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow we are going to be going over how to conduct a board meeting for our trust. We're going to be filling in promissory notes so that you know how to document how much you're going to fund the trust with, and how to document your loans that you're going to be giving and receiving to the trust. Then we're going to review business credit and business funding. So we're going to have a guest speaker that comes in. He's a part of our community. He's a trustee. He's going to come in and he's going to teach us how to get the funding that we need, OPM, in order for us to be able to fund our trust, using the bank's money. So that is what, and then the last thing is that we're going to apply for our EIN for our business trust. So if you want to apply live, then make sure that you either ask the grantor for their information, or invite them to the call so that they can do the EIN application as we do it live, okay? So that is our schedule for tomorrow. So you are going to receive an email at 10 a.m. with the resources that you're going to need for tomorrow. And then we are going to go from there. So with that being said, everybody have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing day. The recording is going to be available in the next hour in the online portal. Please send me an email, or send Ika, my assistant, an email if you're having problems logging into the portal, because that's where you access the recordings, okay? So my email is info@7waystowealth.com. So just respond to the email that you've been receiving if you're having problems getting into the portal, okay, so that we can fix that and send you your correct login credentials. So with that being said, you guys have a blessed and amazing day, and I will see you here tomorrow on Zoom. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
you.
Bye, guys.